message here in Surah Yunus, which we finished tonight. Tonight is the 20th night of Ramadan, because tomorrow is the 20th day. So we will be going to finish the 20 days of fasting tomorrow, and tomorrow night will be starting the last 10 nights, which is the best part of the Ramadan. And among these 10 nights, there will be a Laylatul Qadr. So there are lots of people who prefer to make i'tikaf. I'tikaf is confining yourself in the masjid for the sake of Allah, to exclude yourself from the worldly life and to focus on worshipping Allah and getting closer to Allah and making meditation with Allah. And that's the way you can also catch up with the Laylatul Qadr, because Laylatul Qadr from the last 10 nights, the old nights, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, 29th. So it's very good recommendation to do i'tikaf. The verse here, which I want to emphasize, it's about the Pharaoh. That Allah said in the Surah Yunus that Allah saved the Bani Israel from the sea. Allah departed for them the sea, and they were going to pass the sea, the Red Sea, and the Pharaoh and his army were tyrant. They saw there is a Bani Israel is running away with Pharaoh, with the Musa and Harun. So I can also follow the Red Sea, and he forget that who make this the way. Allah make this way. And only those who Allah want, they can pass that Red Sea, and no one else. So his mind was not functioning. He doesn't know that he is going to be trapped here. He followed the Bani Israel. And when the Bani Israel crossed the Red Sea, Allah returned back the Red Sea, and the Pharaoh and his army started to drown. Gharq, word here in the Quran. And that time the Pharaoh, he started to say, Qala amantu annahu la ilaha illa alladhi amanat bihi banu Israel wa ana min al-muslimin. He said, I believe in that there is no God except He to whom the Bani Israel believe in Him. The Bani Israel believe in Him, and that's Allah. So indirectly he is trying to testify, La ilaha illallah. Wa ana min al-muslimin, and I am among those who are submitting to the commands of Allah. So now he is trying to submit to the commands of Allah. So what Allah said to him, Al-an, وَقَدْ أَسَيْتُ قَبْلُ وَكُنْتَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ, and before that you are rejecting, you are disobedient. And you were among the mufsidin, those who were making the trouble in the land, killing people, bloodshedding, destroying the humanity. So Allah rejected his become a believer because he already seen the unseen. Allah wants us to believe in unseen. So he was already seen the punishment. So they closed. The door of the repentance was closed. But Allah did not accept it from him. And what Allah said, this is the topic of the tonight lecture. فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ لَتَكُونَ مِنْ مَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا لَغَافِلُونَ. Allah said, this day we will save your body to make it the people who after come as a sign and a lesson. وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا لَغَافِلُونَ. And among the men, many of the men are unaware of our signs. Now what Allah is claiming here, that thousands of years ago, this tyrant, the king, the Pharaoh, he was drowned in the sea, and Allah is making a claim, a guarantee that Allah is going to protect his dead body, to make a sign for him, to make a lesson for the people. And this body was found. The body of the Pharaoh was found. And now when the body of the Pharaoh was found, there were lots of research. So many research. Everybody want to research that where this body come from, why this body is not destroyed even though it was not mummified. What really happened? Why the body of the Pharaoh is not destroyed? It's open. It's not with chemicals and mummified with wrapped with some clothes, with some chemicals. It is not happening like. It's just a dead body and it's not rotten. It's not destroyed. It not becomes the skeleton or the bones. So there are lots of research all around the world. Many scientists, they went to the Egypt and to research that why this body is not destroyed. They already concluded that is a Ramses V. And they already concluded that is the same Pharaoh the time of Prophet Musa with some evidences. But they were wondering that why the body of the Pharaoh is not destroyed, why it's not perished. So there was one scientist from France, Dr. Maurice Bukele. He also reached to the Egypt and to research about the dead body of the Pharaoh. And he was doing a lecture in a college, and he was showing his surprise that why the dead body of the Pharaoh is not brought in, even though it's not mummified. And there was one Muslim student, he stood up and he said, I can explain you. And he said, it's written in the Quran. Then Allah said that when his body was drowned in the sea, Allah said, we will save your body. And that's a miracle. So when Allah does something with a miracle, you don't need any material things. You don't need any material things to save this or to perform this. So when the Dr. Maurice Bukele, they learned about the Quran, that the Quran mentioned that Allah may guarantee that Allah is going to protect his body, not to be rotten, to make a lesson for the people to after come. And he go and that way to started to research the dead body. So he go to the place where the body was kept. So he researched in that direction that he learned from the Quran that the dead body of the Pharaoh was not rotten because of the miracle. And he also learned from the Quran that it is drowned in the sea. And now he wants to verify what the Quran said is accurate. And then he started to research the dead body. And while he was researching, he was verifying the claim of the Quran. Then he found in the dead body of the Pharaoh the salt. And he was astonished. He was very surprised that what Quran said is true. Because his body has a salt. And it means it was really drowned in the sea. That's why his body contains salt. So he got the very surprising result that what Quran said is correct. That it was drowned in the sea. And Allah protected him from the sea. So he was very surprised and he started to research the Quran to learn more about the Quran. He was an old man, the Dr. Maurice Bukele. He started to learn the Quran. He started to learn the Arabic. And then he have a lots of knowledge in the Quran about scientific knowledge. And he has a knowledge of the Bible also. So after many years, when he learned Quran, he understood the Quran, and he compared the Quran and the Bible with the modern science. And he wrote a book, which is printed maybe almost 100 languages. The Bible, the Quran, and the modern science. And in that book, he proved that the Bible has a lots of scientific mistake, but the Quran has no scientific mistake. And whatever the Quran is saying, the science is following that. And that book was very successful book. He himself, he took Shahada, he became a Muslim. And then just from that one story of the Quran that Allah said that he's going to save the dead body of Pharaoh. And then he found it correct, according to the Quran, that it was saved by Allah in the sea. It was drowned in the sea, and Allah said, and he found the salt, and he concluded that what Quran said is accurate. He started to research more about the many other aspects of the Quran, and he proved that the Quran has no scientific mistakes, rather the science is following the Quran. And the Bible has some scientific mistake and some are not, because Bible has been corrupted by the people with so many ideas were added in the Bible. So that was very great story that the Dr. Maurice Bukele, he learned from a Muslim student that the body of the Pharaoh is saved because of the miracle. And then when he researched himself, he found the salt in the dead body of the Pharaoh. And he understood that what Quran said is 100% right, because Quran said he was drowned in the sea. And there was no other historical knowledge about that. claimed that the Pharaoh's body was drowned in the sea. And it was not destroyed because the Quran said it is a miracle. It is command of Allah. Allah may guarantee that He is going to save His dead body to make a lesson for the people to come. And then he wrote the book, the Bible, the Quran, and the moral science after being researched the Quran for many years, learned Arabic in old age, and then Dr. Maurice Bukele, he became a Muslim. And his book is printed in hundreds of languages. The Bible, the Quran, and the modern science. And he proved that the Bible has scientific mistake and some correct knowledge, but the Quran has no scientific mistake and 100% correct. And whatever the science is discovering, it's already mentioned in the Quran, I know it. And then that is one thing. And then he researched about many aspects of the Quran. Even the historical aspects of the mathematical, miracles in the Quran, the physics, about chemistry, everything. For example, in Surah Al-Rum, Allah said that they will be victorious in the low land, Adnal Ard. Adnal Ard means it's the lowest land. And when we know about the scientific that war took place in Dead Sea between the Romans and Persians, and the Romans were victorious after some years, and they were victorious in the Dead Sea land. And the Dead Sea land is the lowest land in the world, which is minus 398 meters below the sea level. And the Quran was mentioning it, that they will be victorious in Adnal Ard, the lowest land. So there are many other evidences. For example, the same with Haman. The Pharaoh told to the Haman in the Quran that make a lofty tower and I will go up and then I'll try to see the Lord of Musa. But he forget that Allah is not in dimension. Allah is free from dimension. He's unlimited. You cannot try to find Allah in any dimension or inside in any creation. He's outside His creation. And He's infinite and unlimited. But you can remember Him and He's very close to us and He's very near to us. As He said, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. When my slave asks you about me, say, I'm very near. أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I answer the supplication of my slave when they call upon me. وَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. So call upon me, believe in me, so you will be successful. You will be guided. And there are like there was some criticize about the name Haman. And then finally, what the Quran said was correct. Because there was some conflict and controversy about the name of Haman in the historical knowledge in the Egypt. And there was some criticize. And later they found out what the Quran said was 100% correct. Because the Quran said the Haman is the one who was making the towers. So it means he was dealing with the stones. And later the name Haman was translated. And the translation of the name of Haman in Egypt, old Egypt language, the head of the quarry. The head of the quarry. The one who controls the quarry, where you get the stones from the mining, he is the head of that quarry. So what the Quran said, the Haman was correct. But initially they were criticizing that knowledge in Quran is wrong. But later they found out the knowledge in the Quran about Haman is 100% correct, because Pharaoh was commanding him to make the tower. And for making the tower, you need the stones. And the meaning of the word Haman in Egypt, old Egypt language, is the person who is head of the quarry, who collect all the stones. So that's very crucial knowledge about historical facts, scientific facts. All kind of scientific facts are mentioned in the Quran in details. And it is to understand that what Allah said, this Quran is from Allah, the creator of the heavens and earth. And it is not made by any human being. And even though if you learn it, and Allah also challenged in Surah Al-Yunus, that if you doubt, then bring the one surah like it. And we know, when we read the Quran, we know it's a beautiful. No one can make this kind of recitation. It is a beautiful recitation. It is easy to memorize. It's soothing and it's making hearts happy. And it's also good for our brain and our souls, our spirits, getting cool, getting happy with the reading of recitation of the Quran. Like every night we read the Quran in Taraweeh and it makes us happy. It makes us refresh our souls, being refreshed and happy. And end of the Surah Yunus, Allah said to Prophet Muhammad, say, O mankind, if you are in doubt in my religion, then I do not worship those you worship beside Allah. But I worship Allah. Who is going to give me that? Who is going to take me? وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and I am commanded that I am among those who are believers. وَنَكِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا, and I am standing and making my face to the religion Hanif. Hanif religion is a religion of Prophet Ibrahim to worship in one God, and that's Islam. And even the Prophet Muhammad's mother, Amina, Prophet Muhammad's father, Abdullah, his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, his uncle, Abu Talib, they were all on religion of Hanif. They call themselves Hanif. That our religion is Hanif. And Hanif means is monotheist. Worshipping only one God and not worshipping the idol. And Allah said, وَلَا تَدُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفُعُكَ وَلَا يَضُرُّكَ. And do not call on upon other than Allah the gods, the false gods, which cannot benefit you, nor they can harm you. وَإِنْ فَعَلْتَ فَإِنَّكَ إِذًا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And if you do it, then surely you will be among the ظالمين, the wrongdoers. وَإِنْ يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. And if it's Allah touches you with harm, then there is no one to remove it from you except He Himself. وَإِنْ يُرِدْكَ بِخَيْرٍ فَلَا رَاءَةَ فِي فَضْلِهِ. And if Allah, He decided, He intended to give you a khair, the goodness, then there is no one can reject His grace, His blessings. يُصِيبُ بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. He creates sleep for whoever He will among His slaves, مِنْ عِبَادِهِ وَالْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. And He is the merciful, the forgiving, the merciful. O mankind, the truth has come to you from your Lord, the Quran, the revelation from Allah. فَمَنْ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ. Whoever guided, then he guides for himself. It is good for himself. وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَإِنَّمَا يُضِلُّ عَلَيْهَا. And whoever misguided, then that guidance is upon himself. وَمَا أَنَا عَلَيْكُمْ بِوَكِيلٍ وَاتَّبِعْ مَا يُوحَىٰ إِلَيْكَ وَاصْبِرْ حَتَّىٰ يَحْكُمَ اللَّهُ وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. And follow what is revealed upon you. Allah is saying to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and follow what is revealed upon you, and be steadfast on that. Hatta yakumullah, until the command of Allah to come. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. And He is the best of the judging.